our second episode, and we've already hit rock bottom.
You know, I feel really bad for how I ripped apart Double Rainbow, because compared to what we are reviewing today, it looks like a Spielberg-directed Marvel in comparison. Now, when you make any kind of fan animation, you need three things. 1. A good, solid story. 2. Likeable and relatable characters. And 3. A good team to back the project up. Dusk Dawn has none of these things. Now, what Dusk Dawn is this strange underground fan animation that has been slammed into the ground and ripped apart by the Broner community. Double Rainbow made its claim that was the very first fan-made episode, but, unfortunately, Dusk Dawn beat it to the punch by 5 months. Now, up until now, very few people have given Dusk Dawn the time of day and have done a legit review on it. That's why in this video, me and Somber are gonna go where very few have gone before and review the one fan animation that deserves no review at all. So, with that said, Somber will explain to us the story of Dusk Dawn.
Well, thanks for stealing my show, you prick.
I don't want to hear it. You made me do this.
Shh! They don't need to know that.
Okay.
Anyway, so the story of Dusk Dawn is as follows. Well, I guess this is Dusk, and, his mother is dead, and, I'm pretty sure that they spent all of their budget on a flame effect. Let's see, for some reason there's a evil part of him? What? And, what the fuck is going on here? What? Okay, you know what? Dusk's Dawn has no story. There is no story to Dusk's Dawn. It is just, it's so much of a clusterfuck. The story for Dusk's Dawn is a cliffhanger. I don't know where they planned to go from here, but I have no idea what the story is supposed to be. It's not a cohesive story. I mean, trying to explain the story of Dusk's Dawn is like trying to climb Mount Everest. With enough effort, you could do it, but it's unnecessarily hard. I can't give you guys, as much as I want to, I can't give you guys a coherent story for this because there's nothing to tell. I mean, it's that disorientatingly bad. I can't do it. I'm speechless. Chaos, help me.
I can't really do much better. It's such a damn clusterfuck, it's hard to explain. I watched it 3 times and I still have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on.
I've watched it 10 times and have no idea what's going on.
Yep, that just shows how horrible it is.
I guess the only thing we can do is move on to characters and start this review already because there's no story here to tell. So, you know what, Chaos? Why don't you just take characters? I cannot with this. Ugh.
In all honesty, there's really not much to say about the characters either, but they each have their really, really annoying quirks. And just so you guys know, none of the main 6 are in here. It's a bunch of OCs. Bad OCs, I might add. So let's start off. Now the first character that we see, his name is Breeze Rider. This is probably my least favorite character, because he's really fucking annoying, has the most annoying accent, can barely understand anything that he says, he's horrible comic relief, barely contributes to the plot other than doing something at the end, and I want to fucking kill him. Good lord. They made one of the most annoying characters ever, and it's in a fan animation of all things. Alright, next is Dusk. At least I assume that's his name because I don't think they ever say it in the episode. So as Somber said earlier in the story, his mother died because of
reasons.
Something. I don't know. And suddenly he has an evil twin because
reasons.
Why not? I mean, yeah, reasons. That's it. And apparently he's a blank flank. He doesn't have a cutie mark at all. Because why not? Alright, next is Star Whistle. This is a character that that was sent by Princess Celestia to do some kind of experiment on this magical ring or something.
Totally not Twilight Sparkle ripoff.
Totally not. When she touches the ring, she gets her magic runs out of control, and she can spit out tornadoes, apparently, because that's a thing. So after she gets freed from her magic, she constantly sounds depressed, like she's chronically depressed. No idea why. She always talks like this. Oh my god, this is so horrible. Just over and over. That's really all for that. She doesn't really contribute that much either. Next is Doodle Cute. Yes, that is her actual name. The dark green pony with weird hairstyle. There's really not much to say about her other than the fact that she's a Fluttershy clone because she's the obligatory timid girl. That's it. Next is Mr. Brave. This is the guy that saves Star Whistle. See, I'm forgetting these characters' names because there's nothing to say about them. Anyway, he saves Star Whistle from the magic because he can apparently run through tornadoes. He's kind of a big badass. So he's obviously the big hero of the story. He has a really annoying voice, just like the other people. And that's all for him. Next is Iridescence, who is a nurse. That's it. Okay, it's not that I'm being lazy, it's just there's really nothing to say about these people because they almost don't do jack shit. They may as well not exist. Alright, moving on. Up next is Donut, who is a royal guard and something. He says he's a royal guard. And he also believes that cats can fly. Because as you can see in this scene as he's walking through the castle...
Must have been a cat or something.
Did you know that cats can fly, Somber?
No, I really didn't. I'm gonna have to check that.
Me neither, but apparently they can in this. And finally, we have the villain, who is an evil twin of Dusk's, as we said earlier. We don't know why. He's evil because...
Reasons!
Yeah, because he's evil. Did I mention that he's evil?
I think you may have forgotten that.
Yeah. Anyway, for all the characters, that's about it. At least the ones that are on screen for more than a minute. That's pretty much all there is to say. They did a god-awful job of these... Ugh. Characterization is one of the most important things that you gotta focus on. If you have horrible characters, you're gonna have a piece of shit.
But wait, there's more!
Yep, there really is more. Let's move on to voice acting, another major flaw of the entire thing. Because it feels like every character was made to be as annoying as possible, especially in the voice department. The main issue I have is that a lot of the characters are hard to understand. Mostly Breeze Rider. Like in this clip, for instance.
So cool! Cold even. I hope nobody will notice I left that hill snowy during last year's wrap-up. Flying in winter is much better than...
Did you understand any of that, Somberguy?
No, I really didn't. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Exactly. This happens with not all the characters. It's mainly Breeze and... what was his name? Mr. Brave. God, that's such a stupid name. And Iridescence, the nurse, in case you forgot.
May I please skip in real quick, right here?
Yeah.
There is also a few lines where Mr. Brave's voice actor, I don't know who he was, wasn't even trying, and the clearest exemplification of bad voice acting I can hear is this clip right here.
Ponies are flying everywhere!
What's going on?
As far as voice acting goes, I've already mentioned that Starbreeze constantly sounds like that she's depressed. Like, always talking like this. Oh my god, this is so bad. What the fuck were they thinking?
Will stay in control of my powers.
And one good thing I have to say is that Dusk actually sounds alright. I mean, that's not a huge compliment, not saying a whole lot, but there's that at least.
He sounds decent.
Yeah. And just every character, their voices, the characters that aren't annoying, their voices don't really, they have no personality to them. They have no inflection. It's indescribable. You'd have to watch it to fully understand it.
Seriously, it sounded like everybody on this project had never voice acted a day in their life. It's like they just sat them down in front of a computer with a microphone and just went, read this script.
It's like they didn't even bother practicing.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking atrocious.
Yeah. If you want to be a good actor, you gotta practice. Okay? There's no going around that.
Yeah, so I think that's all we have for the voice acting. I think it's about time for me to take my show back from Chaos and explain a little bit about the animation. There's a lot to cover here. So first off, the bad lip syncing. There is terrible lip sync all over the animation, like in this scene.
The princess received the ring this morning. It was magical, so I was asked to test it. I tried it, but I don't remember after.
If you're going to make a quality animation, make sure you have proper lip sync, because this is just lazy. And speaking of lazy animation, from the very first time I ever watched Dusk's Dawn, something has bothered me, and that is this. What you are seeing here is the forward walk cycle for all of the characters in Dusk's Dawn, and it's just awful. It doesn't look like they're walking forward, it looks like they're moving their legs and the background is moving behind them. That is something that has bothered me about this video from day one, because it just doesn't look natural at all. Also, another amazing animation marvel from the brilliant minds on this team are the animation errors, like this one here. If you'll look closely, you'll see that whatever the hell his name is,
I think his name is Donut. I don't know. Who the hell cares?
doesn't have an iris. I mean, come on. I wouldn't be going after this error if it was just for a couple frames, but no, it's this whole 22-second scene. Also, another error, the smoke here that's supposed to be behind the roof is cutting through it. Also, I have to harp on the plot elements. Where did this ring come from? Where did this scepter come from? Why is light shining on Donut here? What was that? Why is this bird here? What the fuck was this scene for? Why did this happen? I mean, nothing makes sense. And lastly, the backgrounds, I mean, look at these. They look like they were done in MS Paint.
I mean, come on. Homestuck looks a lot better than this. And I'm not joking when I say that. That was actually done entirely in Microsoft Paint. I mean, good lord.
Yeah, so really, this animation has no excuse. All of this, it's just shameful. So, that's everything wrong with animation. Now on to...
Somber, aren't you forgetting something?
No, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Alright, why don't you take a look at this again?
Wait a minute. Does that say original?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Original. Original. Do you mean original? Original? Seriously? Are you telling me that no one on this team of 29 fucking people saw this typo and corrected it? What kind of bullshit is that? Okay, I know that my typing isn't the best in the world, but I still proofread whatever I type in these reviews. I mean, what the hell? Did no one see this? Original. It's such a simple word. You know what? Let's just go on to the song. I can't with this. I just can't. Okay. First off, I want to say the song was sang by Brony musician Mando Pony. Mando Pony is a very, very well-known acoustic Brony musician. If you want to see some of his work, I encourage you to go check it out. He makes some pretty decent stuff. He's one of the more tolerable Brony musicians around nowadays. But anyway, they got Mando Pony to do this song. I have no idea how. The song goes for, how long, Chaos? 4 minutes? 5 minutes?
About 5 minutes, yeah.
So yeah, about 5 minutes, and it does nothing but introduce us to the villain. The song is entirely acoustic. I think there may be some drums somewhere in there. I have no clue. But the most relevant instrument in there is a guitar. It sounds like it uses very basic chords throughout the song. The lyrics, they're nothing spectacular. There is one amusing thing, though. Mando Pony actually mispronounced forecast.
Today's forecast, black clouds.
I love that, forecast. But all the song really does is introduce us to the villain, which really didn't need a musical introduction. Also, the villain comes out of fucking nowhere. He's looking into a mirror and he sees himself, and then his eyes turn red, and then his reflection is glaring back at him, and then the song starts. What the hell? And also, what's with this book? Is it of any significance? No. Why does it show him building the castle? Is that of any significance? I don't think so. I mean, I don't even think the song is about anything. He's singing about his father leaving, traveling in his footsteps. I don't know. Chaos, do you think this song is about anything? Anything at all?
No. They could have easily introduced the villain with just a few simple lines. They didn't need an entire song that feels like it goes on for years to do it. So, no, it doesn't serve any purpose at all.
Also, there's one thing about this song that really pissed me off, and that's padding. Look at this. Why do we need this here? What does this scene accomplish? Why are we looking at this? What is this, the creator's screensaver? I mean, what do these ponies contribute to the song? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The song is pointless. It's just a song in there for the sake of having a song. Mando Pony is a decent singer, and he's halfway decent on this. His performance on this song isn't terrible, but I'd go as far to say it's the worst thing he's ever made. Also, he doesn't particularly sound interested, but I'm not going to speak for him. I don't know what was going through his head when he was doing this, but he is a talented artist, and he does sound decent on this. But nothing to write home about. But that's pretty much all me and Chaos have on the song. Chaos, you have any other thoughts on the song you want to share before we go on to our final thoughts?
No, that about covers it.
Okay, so we're going to go on to our final thoughts, and we are going to put this godforsaken animation out of its misery with a score.
Alright, so here's our final thoughts on this. This was pretty bad, but that's all that really needs to be said. It's horrible. There's so many things wrong with it, but it was fun to rip apart. I guess that's its only real saving grace. It exists just to be torn a new asshole. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's horrible, but this ripping it apart was fun. That's all I got to say. Alright, Somber, you want to go?
Yeah, this animation, it's not an example of it's so bad it's good. It's not good. It has no saving grace or redeeming qualities aside from the fact what Chaos mentioned. It's fun to rip apart. And it was just as fun for me to rip apart too. But Dusk's Dawn is an animation that makes me question its own existence. Why does it exist? Why was it made? And why did the project never continue its, cliffhanger thing? I mean, you could argue it's being worked on, but this thing was released almost 2 years ago. I'm not sure about that. It exists for all the wrong reasons. And that's why I question its existence. So, with that said, I think it's about high time me and Chaos gave our scores. I give Dusk's Dawn a 1.3 out of 10.
And I give it a 2 out of 10. Like I've said before, this made me feel really bad about going into Double Rainbow so much. That's all I got.
So yeah, that's the final verdict on Dusk's Dawn. Nothing short of an F grade, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that is the second episode of SomberChaosReviews. And it's summer now. And it's very hot outside. So, since it's so hot, I think that me and Chaos are going to review a bit more of a cooler video next time. What do you think, Chaos?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Alright, so, without any further ado, this is Somber, signing out.
This is Chaos, signing out.
Have a good day, guys.